everybody, before you watch the video, make sure you follow the page, like the video. Hope you enjoy.
Which you have always mentioned to me is like that ability to sort of just be able to switch it on. Like be able to actually go hard versus then, you know, like being able to sort of switch it off again. And that's definitely something I've struggled with for a long time.
Mine's the opposite. Mine's the opposite. I'm too aggressive.
You see, the funny thing is actually that middle ground, you know what I mean? That capacity to go, to switch from, you know, resting and calm and light, even on a match, to then even on a competition, to then go super hard, you know what I mean? And that is very important to have, you know. That's a very good skill to have. I think because you surprise the opponent a lot by doing that.
For sure. I think I found that this weekend. So I'll just say something first, but like I think I'm able to do that in training. Like train comfortably and nicely in that now. Before, when I first started, of course, like coming from rugby and all the other stuff, and you want to be, you know, dominant and smash and I want to be powerful. You have a hard time understanding that, like, actually in training, there's no real purpose for that unless the purpose of the training is preparing for a comp or something like that. All right. I've always had an issue with being extremely aggressive and overtly, like, I'm trying to destroy you in competition. Now, what I've always had an issue with, and this is something I changed this weekend. I talked to Paul White, who's been on the podcast before, who's a psychiatrist, you know, many, many years. And I'm like, man, this keeps happening. He's like, dude, you need to adjust your approach. It's not even the technicality. It's not this. It's your demeanor. It's the way you're approaching the person. I was like, man, that's interesting. Because I've been listening to a lot of audio books recently about like psychology and stuff like that and the dynamics of things. And he said, look, man, what you're doing is you're putting people in a state of fear immediately. So they become extremely defensive because of the way you approach everything. And he said, it's a subconscious thing that happens. It's with the refereeing staff. It's with the people that are scoring the fight. It's with everybody.
The body language.
The body language, the way you approach, the energy that you're exuding, like the intensity that you're exuding makes people like worried. It's unstable. It's scary. It's like frightening. So when you engage with somebody to do competitive stuff with them, they're already defensive. When someone goes to give a referee decision, they're already like, this guy's got something like he's too uncomfortable, makes me uncomfortable.
Too much,
yeah. So I adjusted that on the weekend and I had like a really good result. And I just thought it was really interesting that it was such a small adjustment. Just like we're talking about now, to do with like the idea of training to focus on like efficiency or sustainability, as opposed to just going there and bashing. You know what I mean? I think it's a really thing, because it's such a subtle difference, but it changes everything.
It's crazy because now you see this as such a small thing, etc. But it's such a
it takes 10 years to figure out.
It's
you know what
crazy,
I mean?
this, you know, because that's what I tell people. A lot of the improvement, right? Man, obviously there's the technical part. Obviously you have to drill. You cannot improve without that. But a lot to do with improvement has to do with the mindset, you know what I mean? About looking at how you acting, you know what I mean? Like what can you tweak, but nothing on with the technique side, you know what I mean? And a lot of people, you might tell them in that for a long time that there's not. So it seems it is just a detail, it's a mindset, but we have so many like things that are already like in depth in our brain that we do not change, you know what I mean? Like even the way you react when someone submits you, like, you know what I mean, like that you like someone that less graduated than you, and then do one good move that, you know, it submit you, just by you have to, no matter what, after you get that, and you have to go, you have to work on it, to go, wait a second, I'm trying to work on a skill, or, you know, he got me, congratulations, whatever, let's go again, let's try, you know, the way you deal with everything, like you need to really look into it, you know what I mean, to try to make it better, you know. And all these details make a huge difference.
But I think the thing that actually gets you to realize that is the acting, is the physical action part. Like, I'm never going to come to the realization of like, man, you're too aggressive, without failing and losing competitions because I'm too aggressive, or without getting submitted because you're overly like aggressive and you're like, screw this person, fuck them. Like, you don't learn this stuff until you put yourself through that situation. And it comes to every portion of life. You don't learn how to have a business better until you go and fuck up 10. You don't learn how to drive your car properly until you're a learner and you crash the car once. You know what I'm saying? Or scratch the wheels on the curb. Like, it's a part of the process of learning. The problem that I think people kind of have is that they don't use those lessons to actually adjust. That's the thing that's dangerous. You're supposed to fail in life, but you're supposed to use those failures as an opportunity to improve. So it might take someone 10 years, it might take someone 3. Everyone's different, but like, eventually, if you keep on the path and you keep attempting and you keep competing in terms of jiu-jitsu, or you keep opening businesses, eventually it'll work. You will figure it out. You will figure it out eventually, but you've got to be open to understanding, and that's hard to do because it's fearful and scary and all that type of thing. And man, it's taken me 10 years to figure out that being like overly aggressive and like your passion alone is going to carry everything. No, man, there's other things too. And actually, a lot of the aggression is affecting everything around you. Like, no, you need to relax, man. You need to relax. It's not healthy. Like, it's not serving you in any way. It helps me like just consistently push forward and have this attitude that I'm never gonna give up on things and and all that type of stuff. But you need to have like some balance, like you were saying before. The aggression's good for certain things, but you also need to be able to like interact with people and have them feel comfortable enough to actually exchange with you. Like, for me, this is the competition scenario. Otherwise, people are so afraid of exchanging with me. I would always lose. Not always lose, but I would lose a lot of fights that, like, man, I fought better than the guy, I did all this stuff, but no one scored anything. The guy avoided the whole time. I'm pissed off and annoyed, and because I'm pissed off and annoyed, the referee gives a fight to the other guy, and I'm like, what the? And it just kept like making the situation worse. You know what I mean? It's funny. I just think it's a funny thing to talk about because it's the same. It connects with the training methodology thing. Like, I know we all want to win and we all want to do well and we all want to do that, and a lot of the time aggression is the thing that damages that. You know what I mean? Or your desire, it's kind of like that reverse effect thing. Your desire to succeed a lot of the time stops you from succeeding, and it's so paradoxical and interesting, and that's something, man, that I struggled with a lot, particularly to do with competition stuff.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching the video. If you haven't yet already, make sure you subscribe, like, and again, go and check us out on Facebook, on Instagram, like all our platforms. Give us a follow at bjj.101 on Instagram, and go and check out bjj101.com.au to access the full video library.